This is Dan Wilkes with PittStateGorillas.com. Coming up on this week's edition of the Coach Russ Jewett podcast, we preview the 2012 NCAA Division II Central Regional Championships. Berths to the NCAA Division II National Championships will be determined this Saturday at Joplin, Missouri. We'll preview the Gorillas' pursuits of nationals appearances right after this short break.
The Holiday Inn Express of Pittsburgh has flexible meeting spaces, complimentary internet access, a free hot breakfast bar in the morning, and an indoor pool that the whole family will enjoy. Come book a room at the newest hotel in Pittsburgh, the Holiday Inn Express.
We're joined by cross-country coach Russ Jewett, whose Pitt State squads will make the short trip to Joplin, Missouri Saturday morning to compete in the NCAA Regionals. The regional landscape has changed for the Gorillas as they have transitioned into the Central Regional in 2012, and MIAA schools compete against those from the Northern Sun and Great America conferences. Coach, touch on the known and unknown commodities with the regional meet.
Well, I guess you'd say the known, since the course is over at Missouri Southern for this regional meet. We do know that course very well. We race it every year. We raced it earlier this year. So everybody on the squad that's racing will be familiar with the course. And that's not a small thing, really. Being comfortable with the course is an advantage. Having performed on the course gives you some confidence, I think. And, of course, we know all of the MIAA schools very well now that are going to be in the competition. The unknown is really those schools that we haven't competed against, and some of the best programs in this region we have not competed against yet this year. You can look at results, and times mean something in this sport, but they don't mean everything because courses are different, of course. And we have raced against University of Mary and Minnesota State, and a couple others. Have not raced against Augustana, who is really the heavy favorite probably in this race. So anyway, there's both unknown and known, and we'll just factor it all in and make a go of it.
The Pitt State men obviously are building for the future. Injuries beset very early what appeared to be a promising season for the Gorillas. The positive result, several youthful athletes have gained immeasurable meet experience and have established the foundation for promising careers to come. The immediate measure, the Gorillas likely do not have a realistic chance to finish among the top 4 squads in the meet and qualify to nationals. Coach, is Saturday's race as much about continuing to build for 2013 as much as it is as a regional qualifier?
Well, that element probably exists more for me than for these guys on this team. I really want these guys to focus on what we can accomplish this season. And having said that, that is what will best serve us, I think, in the future. Now, all these guys do have the opportunity to return and compete, and that's great because this isn't going to be the best and most successful of years, obviously. When we decided to redshirt Adam, I think that sort of sealed the fact that we aren't going to maybe throw everything we have at this season. When he got dinged up a little bit in the middle of the year, we decided to save him for what would be his 5th year, and I'm glad that the men didn't just like tank the season. Some were maybe a little disappointed, but it is a matter of pride with us that we compete the very best of our ability, however much ammunition we have going into the race, and that's really our mindset for this weekend. But having said that, everybody that's on this squad has the opportunity to return next year, and how we do this year can be a boost to the future of the program.
The squad you will send to the line at 9:30 Saturday morning, all are underclassmen, as you said, led by redshirt freshman Devon Young and junior Ethan Solovsky, who both earned honorable mention All-MIAA honors at the conference championships on October 20th. What are your goals and expectations for Young and Solovsky as well as the rest of your pack?
Well, Ethan does have some experience, and he's done such a great job in the off-season and throughout this season in terms of training and to some extent leading the guys that are racing. I expect him to do pretty well. To expect him to be all-region would be unrealistic, but he'll I'm sure make a good showing. Devon, I have not quite as much expectation for because he is brand new to this level, and it is his first 10,000-meter race. I expect him to control the things he can control. That's race hard and race smart, but the outcome, not quite as much expectation there. But I know these guys will race extremely hard and represent Pittsburgh State well.
Tactically, what are the keys for this Pitt State men's squad as these young athletes continue to come into their own and gain more race experience for a final time in 2012?
I think tactically it's knowing when to really put the hammer down. In the 10K, if you go a little too hard too soon, you might pay the price. If you wait too long, you're too far out of position. And this is kind of where experience does help. But knowing when to red line it, completely, and give it everything you got without just sort of blowing up before the finish. I guess that's kind of the trick here. And these guys will, I think, will do a good job with that. We've talked about that kind of thing. And when in doubt, go. I'd much rather someone make the mistake of going too hard too soon and failing than wait, and then never know if you had the chance to do it in the first place. So that's kind of what I think.
We'll continue our podcast with Coach Jewett after this.
Comfort Inn of Pittsburgh offers a cozy, welcoming room with free internet access. Enjoy the indoor pool area year-round and wake up to a complimentary breakfast every morning. When staying at the Comfort Inn, you can feel at ease knowing that your satisfaction is the most important thing to us.
Welcome back to PittStateGorillas.com. The Pitt State women enter Saturday's regional meet seeking their third straight berth to the national championships. The Gorillas, who finished third at the MIAAs, will compete to earn one of 5 berths available to Central Regional squads. The region features several talented teams, Augustana, Mary, and Winona State from the Northern Sun, as well as East Central University from the GAC, and the strong contingent from the MIAA. Coach, you've studied the field hard. You've mentioned you think there's 9 teams, including Pitt State, realistically battling for 5 berths, but do you think it's really more compact numbers than that?
Yeah, I think you got to give Augustana and Winona State and very likely University of Mary a lot of credit, and it would be hard for anyone else to beat them. Maybe Missouri Southern could be right up in there in the top 3 because they are coming on, and they're a home team, of course. So realistically, we do have a shot to qualify. Realistically, it's probably not going to be one of the top 3. Realistically, we're one of probably 6 teams battling for 2 spots, the 4th and 5th spot, it looks like to me. And familiar to us are Central Missouri and Southwest Baptist, and Missouri Southern maybe to some extent. But then, Minnesota State, Northwest Missouri, East Central University out of Oklahoma, those are other schools that'll have a shot at those too. So it'll be a lot of fun if we approach it the right way, and I think we will.
Senior Kaylee Tamott continues to be the competition leader. The Dodge City native earned honorable mention All-MIAA honors with a 13th place showing at the conference meet. I'm guessing her performance Saturday will be critical in determining the fate of the Gorilla squad.
Yeah, but let's don't tell her that. It will be important, not necessarily from a high finish standpoint alone. I mean, Kaylee has been our rock, really, this whole year. And even the last couple of years, she's been among the most consistent performers. This year, she happens to be our best performer as well, which I guess makes it equally important. But, we've got enough parity on this team that even if Kaylee were to have a little bit of an off meet, someone else could step up and have a great meet and take up the slack there. So the benefit of having this deep team that we have is that we did sustain 2 really serious losses in terms of not being able to race with our returning top 2 from last year, but still also we have some parity among the squad that is racing, where if someone does have a bad race, someone else can pick them up. Now, we can't afford much of that because we are a little bit marginal, but Kaylee will do fine. If she doesn't, one of her teammates will be there to pick her up, I'm sure.
Along with Tamott, junior Casey Epps had a tremendous performance for Pitt State at the MIAAs, finishing 14th overall, a little less than 2 seconds behind Tamott at the finish line. It marked the first time Epps has garnered all MIAA recognition with a top 20 showing. How encouraging was the boost your squad received from Casey as they prepped for the regional meet?
That was a big boost, I think, for our squad, and it just really highlights what I just said, that Casey was someone that was sort of the gatekeeper for us a couple different times around the number 5 spot, and before that at number 8 or 10. But now she's really come into her own and showed that she can be one of those people that takes up some slack. It was probably selfishly as much a boost to me as anyone else, having seen her go through a lot of adversity over the last 3 years, to finally see her getting the payoff of all the hard work and just hanging in there. So it was personally rewarding for me to see her perform so well when it really counted.
Sophomore Alex Mose, freshman Hannah DeVries, and senior Amanda Calloway all finished closely behind Epps, just outside of the top 20 runners at the MIAAs. The top 5 performers had a 1-to-5 gap of just over 31 seconds at the conference meet. How important will it be for them to replicate that or perhaps even condense that margin on Saturday?
If we could have like a 10-second 1-to-5 gap, yeah, that'd be great as long as our top runner is finishing pretty high. It's still probably more important for us for that pack to move forward, and that means someone has got to lead that pack. And we got a couple of different women at the conference meet trying to pull the pack forward. It wasn't just Kaylee. Alex Mose was leading our pack at one point in time, and that's what we need. We need more than 1 or 2 people to step forward and say, I'll be the one to pull this team to a berth, and hopefully we'll have that this weekend and we'll be successful.
You touched on this earlier, but team captain Erica Testa and 3-time All-MIAA performer and senior Melissa Peden both tried to battle back from injuries and compete in the MIAAs 2 weeks ago. Neither athlete raced 100%, and they struggled in the competition. I understand you'll hold both out of competition this weekend as their bodies continue to mend.
Yeah, that's the plan, and it's really heart-wrenching, especially with Melissa Peden. This is really her last season. And, very unfortunate with the injuries to both those young ladies. Credit to them. They're still extremely supportive of their teammates and vice versa. And they'll be there to support, of course. And they're alternates just in case something happens. But anyway, that's kind of what athletics is about, or at least part of athletics. And what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. And this, in some way or shape, this will help to make these young women even stronger than they were before, and their teammates as well, because they share that experience with them.
Coach, the Pitt State women certainly appreciate and embrace the tradition of wearing the gorilla uniform. 8 MIAA titles and 9 appearances at the NCAA National Championships. What is the mindset for this squad as it attempts to write itself into another chapter in the proud history of the Pitt State women's program?
Well, I think our women are extremely prepared mentally and physically. We're trying not to overreach with the emotion. These women were extremely fired up to try and win a conference title. And having fallen short, we all just want to make sure that, we don't overshoot that emotional runway a little bit for the regional. I think we have the tools to get the job done. We've got the preparation to get it done. It's not going to be handed to us. So it's a go out there, execute, take care of business, run as well as we can, but don't try to run better than we're capable of. And that's our mindset, I think.
The NCAA Regional Championships are upon us. Thanks to head coach Russ Jewett for taking time to share his insights into the regional race. Tune in next time when we look back at the 2012 Central Regional and either wrap up the 2012 season or prepare to preview the 2012 NCAA National